Okay, a very good evening to you. Welcome to the Situation Room on Milan 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Well, it's a Tuesday and it's been really, really super cold in the city of Lagos. I just hope you've not, gotten yourself caught up in the rain, but it's a part of the year, so it's pretty much expected. I want to especially welcome you to the Tuesday edition of the program. The Situation Room is the number one political show on radio that gets talk about issues that has to do with leadership, governance, politics, policies, everything you need to know, about our daily existence as a people, as Nigerians, as members of the international community. I will try to bring everything down. I will try to bring resource persons, analysts, individuals that understand the workings of government, and they bring it to the simplest, possible way, which you can help understand, interpret, especially when it comes to government policies that affect our daily existence, policies that are supposed to help to improve the quality of lives of the people, especially with the kind of government we practice in Nigeria. It's supposed to be a democracy where, that the principal responsibility of all of the government at every level had to be the protection of lives and properties of the people. As such, I decided to, stick deep into the security fiber of this country, and I decided to also narrow it down to the city of Lagos, a cosmopolitan city with over 20 million population. How difficult, how complex, how complicated, how demanding it is to police a city like Lagos. So we're going to open that conversation up today. By the way, yesterday on the show was really, really engaging. I had the vice chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress Lagos State chapter join us on the show. We talked about the nationwide strike that was supposed to start, tomorrow. Well, and just like my guest said, that series of meetings were going on, and there's a possibility that if the demands of the NLC and the TUC was looked into, perhaps there could be a compromise. And the compromise came late yesterday as the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC, after meeting the representative of the government, decided to suspend the strike till much later in the month. So let's hope that the new government, it's just about 8 days old today, will be able to do the needful and listen to the demands and the yearnings of the people. Like I said, it's a democracy. It's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Okay. We'll come back to that much later. My guest is seated already, and of course, you can follow our social media platforms to watch this program live. We're streaming it on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on our YouTube page. So go to our YouTube page at Mainland 983 on YouTube, and on Facebook, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM, so that I can watch it live, and then we'll get into the conversation today. We're going to be focusing on securing Lagos and building effective police-citizen relationship. Okay, this should certainly interest you. Over time, one of the things that a lot of people had complained about had to be the synergy between no matter how stuck you are, no matter how late you come into any city. Once you're able to find your way to a police station, you should feel safe. That used to be the case. Well, that is still the case in some places, but over time, it looks like there's a huge gap between the police and the people. And the first thing that comes to your mind is, do you want to be aggressive towards the officer, or do you want to be, respectable enough to address the officer decently? And the other way around too, when a police officer cites you as a citizen, what are the things that, should come up in your conversation? How do you want to be addressed as a citizen when you cite a police officer? All of those things I would also talk about on the show today. So I have the public relations officer of the Lagos State Police Command live with me in the studio. Well, if you're someone that is conversant with the social media space, then you understand that having him with us live, it's a big deal. Yeah, it's not always that readily available. Well, I have SP Benjamin Hundeyin join us live in the studio. Like I said, he's the public relations officer of the Lagos State Police Command, and then he's always in eye of the storm for the right or the other reason, depending on where you decide to stay. Good evening, SP Benjamin. Then good to have you join us live on Milan 98.3. One of the things that a lot of people had complained about had to be the fact that it seems there's a stereotype of how police officers are viewed. And as a spokesperson of a command as big, as important, as complex as Lagos, with the people coming in, different people from different backgrounds, some of them unregistered, some of them unchecked, some of them without addresses.
Like you said, people are always on the move. So it's very easy for us to keep striving to be
Overwhelmed. Okay. Now, I remember a few months back, there was the issue of precisely before the election. There was this conversation around some part of Lagos being no-go area, being black spots, being especially as regards issue of maybe one chance, people being robbed. I don't want to name those places, but I'm sure you have those places. What exactly is the Lagos State Police Command doing? Because I remember very well that one of the promise of the governor, whether in his first term or his re-election speech, was to secure the lives and properties of Lagos, and that is literally the principal responsibility of the Nigerian police force. Of course, we narrow it down to Lagos State Police Command. What does it entails to handle a city like Lagos, especially when you have spots that are well identified and things keep reoccurring at those places?
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate Lagosians who see something and say something. You would agree with me that we've arrested a couple of one-chance operators in recent times. In fact, just this afternoon, I issued a press release talking about the arrest of one-chance operators that were arrested on Oshodi Expressway. So we arrest these people, and these things, yes, happen, but I don't want to sound like I'm on the defensive or I'm antagonistic, but the truth is it's not as terrible as people make it sound. If you go to these places, you will still see commuters passing. It's not like it's so dire that people don't even go to these places. People pass. So yes, these things happen, but we've been arresting people, and those we've arrested have been assisting us in our investigation to better study their modus operandi and the entire network. So it's work in progress, and we don't in any way intend to relent. And we also urge people not to panic. Just when you see something, say something. Take safety measures, precautions. When you're going out, don't move when it's too dark, because that's. But
Lagos is a cosmopolitan city.
Yes, that's a fact everywhere in the world. That it's easier for me to patrol a place during broad daylight than it would be at night. So to reduce the probability of nasty things happening, if you can help it, don't move when it's too dark. Move in twos or threes, but all the same, we're working on it continuously.
Okay, now just talking about continuity, let's talk about synergy. Yesterday, the newly sworn-in president, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, talked about the fact that there cannot be safety or security if there are no synergies amongst all of the security agencies. How is that working in Lagos? Because one of the bigger concerns for me majorly has been the fact that there seems to be conflict of responsibilities in Lagos. You see the police doing the job that the VIA is supposed to do sometimes. You see the road safety doing the job that this person is supposed to do. What has been the operation like in terms of synergy amongst all of the security agencies in Lagos? Or let me say, all of the agencies that are saddled with protecting Lagosians. I know the RRS is still under the police command. Talk to us about that also.
Well, it is a fact that we have overlap of mandates in this country. There are certain things that you would find one or two agencies or more agencies doing. But the good part for us in Lagos State is that there is no clash. Yeah, it's possible, like you said, police is doing something you think should be done by the VIO, or even the VIO is doing something you think should be done by the police. Yeah, it's possible. I always approach it from the angle of the more the merrier. The most important thing is there is no clash. And in Lagos, in particular, we enjoy very good synergy with sister security agencies, even the ones owned by the state, like the Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps. We work in synergy, and that has helped a lot. You would not, in fact, people cannot imagine the level of security they enjoy in Lagos, as opposed to if there was no synergy. The rate of crime would actually be higher. But we are able to nip lots and lots of crime in the bud because we have very good synergy. And it's a good thing that Mr. President has also reiterated this. So for us in Lagos, we'll just double up on our synergy and make it better that it already is, if there is room for that, because we already have very good synergy. So it's a step in the right direction for security agencies, and for us, we already have that in Lagos.
Okay, now let's talk about step in the right direction. One of the bigger problem in Lagos these days is traffic robbery. I've several times been caught up in that mess, and it's not the most interesting thing you want to witness. I mean, and these days it's not even something that happen at exclusive or secluded areas anymore. You just be at the bus stop, somebody just pulls up to you and does that, or there's traffic. And I remember about 2 weeks ago, I was going home, and towards 7 Up axis, there was traffic, and people started rushing down from their vehicles and running towards where my own car was. And I was like, what's going to say? There's robbery in front, and I'm talking about 8:15 or 8:20 or thereabouts. How safe do you think Lagosians feel, especially when traffic is building up and you feel like anytime any of these boys can come out of nowhere? I've also been caught. Remember that night at Kara Bridge? I had to quickly make some pictures and push it off to you. What is the Lagos State Police Command doing in respect to the issue of traffic robbery? It's becoming one too many.
Well, first we need to take necessary precaution when we find ourselves in traffic. Try your best not to look too attractive to criminals. Don't put your phone, jewelry, or even your bag or your laptop on your car seats, such that these boys who pretend to be selling gala or lacasera would first scan and see that, oh, yeah, something. So don't make yourself that attractive. Try to take precaution. Then for us, we have sat down to analyze this and say that, okay, for traffic, the mode of patrol would not be your regular patrol van, because the van too will be stuck in traffic. We're talking about traffic. So the best thing would be like a motorcycle patrol, which we once had in Lagos. And then another thing that would help a lot in traffic is when all the street lights are working. Everywhere is well lit. These criminals take advantage of darkness. They do whatever they do under the cover of darkness. So we've been able to identify those things. These are things that once were, and it helped a lot, and now they are no longer there, and we can see the effect. So the state government is helping a lot, especially through the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. They are helping a lot, but we're expecting more help. And the former president, the immediate past president, signed into law the Police Trust Fund bill. So the trust fund is supposed to, should I say, gather funds and use it to provide about it. And the moment these things arrive, we have assurances that they are coming. So the moment they arrive, we can assure you that there will be a remarkable improvement in cases of tackling traffic robbery.
Okay, now let's come to the main thing, which is this conversation is on twofold. We've talked about policing Lagos as it is. Now let's talk about the relationship between the police and the citizens, because there's a reaction, there's heavy backlash on the police. The people are all over social media. What exactly is going on? Where did we get it all wrong? Like I talked about the fact that I grew up in a space where I've always seen police as my friend. I mean, several times, you run into the police issues and all of that.
Assertion is wrong, because you're basing it on just social media. Social media is one crazy place. It's a place that is unregulated, and if you see the bashing going on social media.
But the things brought on social media are actually happening in real life.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So if you check social media, you see that the bashing is not just for the police. You would see politicians being bashed. You will see men of God being bashed. You see
everybody's collecting.
Everybody. So because it's honest to what everybody is saying. But nonetheless, you are right. What they bring to social media are things that happen, and the relationship between the people and the police is not as bad as people want other people to believe. It's not that bad. People get in touch with us regularly, and we attend to their cases regularly. But I admit that there are lots and lots of room for improvement, and we're working on it. We are more accessible, especially on social media. People send us messages. In fact, not just direct messages now. On the timeline, people tag you directly, and you get to
bombard
respond.
you people.
Yeah, you get to respond. I receive calls from morning till night, WhatsApp messages. So it's getting better. And we hope that by the time we have a standard call center a standard one where we have many call center operators taking calls, like
247
like,
on
like,
a
like the
steady.
things you see in some Hollywood movies. By the time we get that, it will bring us closer to the people. And don't forget, we have some platform like Police Community Relations Committee in every local government, every division, where people are encouraged to have weekly or maybe fortnightly meetings with their DPOs to let them know what's happening, and they rub minds, and they're able to tackle insecurity within their immediate
Community.
environment. Yes.
Okay. It looks like we're making steady progress. You've been giving us really good things to be excited about. But another bigger challenge these days is communication. I understand the uniqueness of the structure of the Nigerian police. The fact that something happened and then somebody will tell you they have to wait for order from above or before one or two decisions. Is there a way this bureaucracy can be broken down so that when people have emergencies, like quick emergencies, they can easily reach and the responses will be quick? We've seen people come talk about, we have a program, a community platform where people get to call and they say, oh, there was a robbery going on. We tried to reach the DPO, it wasn't picking up, or the officer said they don't have fuel in their cars. How can we close this gap? Because whether you like it or not, I would rather want to talk to a police officer than to run into a barracks, for instance, because I feel a police officer is more civil, more responsive to me as a citizen. How can we close this gap?
Okay, you mentioned something about bureaucracy, waiting for orders from above. That doesn't happen in the police. So it might happen in other agencies, but a DPO would not wait for the commissioner of police to tell him to go and tackle robbery in his area. So maybe there are certain areas where that happens, but that's not an emergency. For example, somebody who wants to resign from the force. There was a lady that went on Twitter recently to say, oh, I want to resign, they won't allow me to resign. And such things would definitely go through the commissioner of police and go to the IG in Abuja before it is approved, and the approval comes back to us. But when it comes to emergency, nobody waits for order from above. Every DPO in his locality is in charge of security there. And we also made a point, an example that people will say, oh, we call the DPO, and they are saying we don't have fuel. I think that one is an old story. I don't think that still happens.
Are you serious right now?
Yes, because any DPO that says that would actually get into trouble. We don't take that lightly. What do you mean by there's no fuel? If you can't reach the DPO, we have a particular number for emergencies.
We give out those numbers on the show today.
We call it the control room numbers. And as the name implies, it's the control room. There's somebody who has access to on the radio, the walkie-talkie, and send it out to everybody that somebody has snatched a car and is going this way. So people in that access, please be on the alert and all that, and be on the lookout. So the control room numbers are there, so that in case the DPO cannot be reached. And that's why I've also made available the phone numbers of even the immediate supervisor of the DPO. Your DPO too has a supervisor. It's called the area commander. He's also there. The PPRO too is there. So people should not just rely on one number. And the 767 also works in Lagos State. It's an emergency number. And 112 also works. That one specifically for medical emergencies. You need ambulance and all that. So these things work. And like you said, we'll reel out these numbers.
Okay. Well, in case you're just tuning in, I've been speaking with the Public Relations Officer of the Lagos State Police Command, SP Benjamin Hundeyin, and he's been taking us through that process, especially when it comes to how we can improve the relationship between the police and the people. Because well, maybe this next line of questions will just flip things up a little bit, which is how police officers, hearing police officers, that's the issue of punishing police officers, because we've seen this over and over again. Very recently, by the way, I think just about a few days ago, there was this report that was out and everywhere about a police officer that was dismissed on the conversation around some amount of money and all of that. People believe that some of these things are not real. People believe that, oh, when these police officers are invited to the force, they dead the matter. Some of these, when they publicly release them or dismiss them, demote them, they still get to bring them back. Talk to us about that as well.
Okay, people need to understand that the Police Service Commission has dismissal and retire officers. So we do the work, but our employer is the federal government through the Police Service Commission. Now, people also need to understand that if somebody is dismissed, that person has the right to appeal
his dismissal.
And the appeal this time around would end up with the Police Service Commission. Yeah, it comes to the Commissioner of Police who forwards it to the Police Service Commission. So there's a department in the Service Commission that handles appeals. I think it's even called appeal unit or appeal department or something. So that's what they handle, and they have to review everything,
over again.
And sometimes they uphold the dismissal, like, no, you don't have a case, you remain dismissed. And sometimes they overturn the dismissal and say, oh, you should be recalled, you were wrongfully dismissed. So these are things that happen. So it's possible you see somebody dismissed today, and somebody will come back and say, oh, I saw him again in Benue State. They simply transferred him.
People think they are reposted.
Yeah. So what happened is, in some cases, people... And I also admit that some people that are dismissed simply turn up elsewhere and become fake police officers. You know, the way their uniform
we're going to come to that conversation.
Yes, so we have fake police officers. We arrest them quite often, and it's also a criminal offense. But the important point I want to make here is that you have the right to appeal, and if your appeal is heard positively, you will be recalled. Okay,
now let's talk about the issue of the fake police. I probably wouldn't have used the word fake as such, but since that conversation is out, let's open it up. How do I identify a fake police officer? I mean, I wake up in the morning, I'm driving, and an officer stops me, fully kitted with his name, his badge, everything that I'm supposed to see on SP Ben Hundeyin, for instance, and I feel, oh, this is a police officer. And how do I identify such people that, for the wrong reasons, that's still in the police system?
Well, you need to understand that somebody that wants to pass as original will do everything possible to look like original. So my point is, it might be actually difficult to spot fake. And that's why people fall for buying fake phones. People will see a fake certificate and not know it's fake. So somebody can actually do well to look like original, especially if he's a dismissed police officer. So that might be very difficult. But one thing I would say, I think the number one point is that fake police officers usually work alone.
So there can be fakes. There can be fake police officers.
They usually work alone. So the moment you see a police officer working solo, you should be suspicious. We don't do that. Nowhere in the world are officers sent out to work solo. In fact, they have to be. I hear that in London they call them ejire. Like they always work in pairs.
Exactly.
And for us, minimum of 2. Then you see a team. But you now see somebody stop you, and you look around. Maybe he just moved away from his team, but you look around, he's the only one. That's one way to be suspicious. But for every other thing, there is actually nothing to point out if the person determines to be very good.
That's not a good one, by the way, because
but you have fake soldiers too.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And you have fake pastors.
Please don't let us go into that one. Okay, you would want to join the conversation right now. By the way, we're streaming this program live on all our social media platforms, Mainland 98.3 FM on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter and YouTube. It is Mainland 983. Search us out and I get to join the conversation. It's 0913-600-0410. The phone lines are buzzing already, but I'm just going to appeal to you. Let's try and be as civil as we can be with the conversation, the messages, the calls. I will take as much as I can take. I've been speaking with the police public relations officer, SP Benjamin Hundeyin. He's been with us for the past 25 minutes or thereabout. And we've looked at the issue of Lagos, the complexity of policing in a city that keeps growing every single day by the numbers. Okay, I keep the calls coming in, 0913-600-0410. Let's get into it. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This evening, Opeyemi.
Good to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you calling from?
I greet our guests as well.
Your
My
name
is Drujai.
Okay, you're welcome, Drujai.
I'm calling from Ikeja.
You're welcome.
Okay. My complaint to our guests this evening is the police are supposed to be our friends, but are they truly our friends? They harass us on the road. They extort money openly. They don't even have shame anymore to extort money. If you are coming from Abattoir, Opeyemi, there's a police station around Nitel. During the EndSARS issue, the police station was burnt. Now the police station has not been rebuilt, but there are shops there now that people are selling different things. There's receipts. They sell bread, they sell phone accessories, they sell like 8 or 9 shops there. Who is the landlord of those people there? Who are they paying to? That's just my complaint.
Thank you very much. 09136000410. Like I said, please let's try and be as civil as you can be with our contribution on the show. More messages are also coming in. I will pick both. I will read the messages and then we also pick the calls. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Opeyemi.
Good evening. Good to have you join us on the show today.
Thank you. My greetings also go to the police person there.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's a nice analysis. Though I differ in some of your points, sir. Anyway, let me just profile my own solution. Is from part of the traffic ordering. Now, can we, in every area there is always a center agent.
Hello, what with you?
Okay, yeah. Like in every area, any part where there is hold up, there are one or two agents there, either out or something else. So can the police get about 2 people there whereby they can help them to monitor that vicinity?
Okay.
Like phone,
okay. I'm really having difficulty picking your question, but maybe you can still try and call us back, by the way. 09136000410, 09136000430 for your messages. Don't call the other line. I won't pick the phone. Down is just for text messages. I just call 09136000410. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Japan.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Mr. Bestman, calling from Celeste.
You're welcome, Bestman.
Help me to tell Oga Benjamin there. Police was waiting for this Tolu police post. They use bus to walking about ready part people.
Is it a police bus or a commercial bus?
Commercial bus.
Okay.
They will just use it and be ready people.
Okay.
And take it to there. If you show the ID card, anything, even some radio stations today said they will announce them. So make him look into that. Tolu police force.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. My guest is taking notes. This one says, my name is Femi from Bagara. Your guest has spoken well. He just spoke like the PRO that he is. Okay. That's all. Thank you very much, Femi. More messages. My name is Ruth from Ijayi. The police in Lagos needs to do so much more, even though we know the pressure is big, but they need to do much more. Okay, thank you very much. 09136000410. I keep your calls coming in and your messages as well. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good to have you join us. You're welcome. Your name and where are you joining us from?
Okay, my name is Abubakar. I'm calling you from Apapa.
Abubakar from Apapa. Okay.
Yeah, I want to appreciate the police PRO.
Thank you.
It's been very active on social media, and he's always been proactive. At times he clears some kind of doubt. It's very, very good. And I want to at the same time tell maybe the Lagos and those listeners that the current IG is a no-nonsense man. He's a man I knew personally. So any indisciplinary act of police, he will take it up. Straight up. So kudos to the police. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Abubakar 09136000410. You're live on Mainland 98.3 FM Situation Room. And I have the public relations officer of the Lagos State Police Command live with us in the studio. So we're picking calls. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Your name and where are you calling from?
Damlola from Malaba.
You're welcome, Damlola.
And I greet the police PRO, Sir Benjamin.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, boss. The thing is just that I really realized something. In fact, you've spoken very well. And I really realized that yes, a lot of educated police officers, they always behave in a very proper way. In fact, I've listened to you several times, and I've actually seen you acting within Lagos right here. It's just that, is there any enlightening programs for others, for junior officers, to bring them up, to realize the reality of their jobs, and to actually educate them more on how to carry out their duties, especially in the aspect of handling the firearms they are carrying around? Is there any enlightening program so that we will not just have them a lot on the road, giving them a kind of orientations from the public? There has to be a kind of orientations or enlightening program within Police Service Commission, which will make them to be much more alive to the program or the services they are being actually rendered to the public. That's my thing.
Thank you very much. Keep the calls coming in 09136000410. Okay, let me read this message quickly. My name is Festus from Ikorodu. It seems the Lagos police are focused on one side. The security challenges we have in Ikorodu is so much. We have traffic robbers, we have pickpockets, we have the court boys everywhere. Okay, you didn't complete your message, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
You're welcome. Your name,
Good evening, sir.
your name and where are you joining from?
Okay, this is John calling from Ojota.
John, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure for speaking with the PRO this evening.
Thank you.
During your conversation with him this evening, you mentioned with along 7-Up. Now, what is happening trending now from K2 under that bridge toward Ojota? They were robbing a lady live there, and we have our men there. So one of my friends just have to run to go and call police for assistance. Those police have to turn us down, say, we are here, Ogana, you get the rob. Look at that response. Hello, sir.
Well with you.
Well with you.
Yes, I really appreciate our PRO, because during the election I called him for some certainty, and I love the kind of conversation he gave me, and he told me his men are ready to go. I love that. But the guy airport to walk up from that Abiola Gadi, heading toward Ojota, and run after see. They will be robbing the people live there, robbing people, and police are there. Holding down Lamata the office there, they will say, Ogana, here they put us. So if they can work more, and toward the Agege Pesnima or the Joby Street, all those Agege boys, they full in that street. You cannot even move there around 6:30, 7 o'clock. They will refund you. So they need to do more for us. I really appreciate the PRO. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Keep the calls coming in. These calls are just tapping up by the second. This one says, please, who do I need to mobilize police? Okay, why do I need to mobilize police before an arrest can be made? That's Emmanuel from Ikeja. Okay, that's a good one. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Opeyemi. Good
Please
evening.
put the volume of your radio set off, or you move away from it completely.
I've done it off.
Okay. You're welcome. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Joshua. I'm calling in from Ijo Shaga area.
Joshua from Ishaga. You're welcome.
I go to our PRO,
Good evening, sir.
but he's a young man and he's doing well. Please, sir, please, my own complaint is this our Ijo Shaga area. The police there, they are working with South. Mostly the ones wearing traffic yellow, whatever they call it, yellow fever. So they will put their uniform. There is one short woman among them. They will put their uniform and they will be extorting marijuana, all those things. So please, if you can help us, call the DPO to order. And they are still collecting and monitoring from us. So please help us out, and God will bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll read some messages now and allow my guests to respond to some of the things. Then we'll come back to the phone calls. This is a pretty long one, by the way. This is Prince from Mogba, and it says, I may not be sure, but I guess your guest is either a police PRO or has a high rank. Well, is the Lagos State Police Command Public Relations Officer. So, well, I want to bring to his notice of what is happening in Odobo Gate, Okera Ogba. On this area, we have these Aboki guys selling all kind of drugs, not just ordinary, I mean hard drugs. It is not that Area G Police Command are not aware. They are, because some of the police do come around with their vans to collect levies from these guys. Even some soldiers in the army do come to buy these drugs and also collect levies. These guys do not hide these drugs, because you will see them carry them in a bako sack and they will approach you in your car, bike, or even walking. Please, I don't know what your guest can say or do about it. I would love to send him some pictures as proof, but I must be careful when doing such. If I can get a platform where I can send those pictures, videos, I will gladly do. Don't say out my name. Oh, apologies. I didn't read that part of the message, but don't worry. You're pretty much safe. Okay. This one says, Rahim from Agege. Good evening, Okwe, and to your friend in the studio. I'm so happy having the police PRO. Please, sir. Police officers at Ilepo do beat and arrest Okada men by 9 p.m., whereby affecting we masses going home in the evening. And also, what's their plan about area boys at Underbridge, Agege Pen Cinema? Rahim from Agege. Thank you very much. I also got a message. Kudos to PR Hundeyin for the breath of fresh air he brought to police community relations in Lagos. His intelligence, zeal, hard work, accessibility is commendable. Every state in Nigeria needs a PRO like you to improve the unfavorable opinion the people have on the police. Well done. Bade from Ikeja. Thank you very much. More messages coming in. Good afternoon. I'm Sam from Agodo. It seems the police and the touts or Agberos, as the case may be, have a symbiotic relationship, because you see some of these guys doing the wrong things, causing traffic, bullying people in front of a police officer, and nothing is done. What is the police as an establishment doing to curtail this act? Well, a lot of these things have been raised, more calls, and then we'll get back into the conversation. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Opeyemi.
Thank you very much for joining us.
I won't be able to say my name, but you see, by the bridge at Penn Cinema, the new bridge, there's one huge here policewoman always there in the morning with her foot soldiers. Those majority of those ones, I don't even think they are police. They are always on mufti. This one is very fair, huge. We are sorting money on a daily basis by that bridge, by that under bridge, the new under bridge. She's always by the right side. These are going to Kekoto like this. Always in the morning. Always in the morning.
Okay. Thank you very much. My guests are taking note of that. My name is Emeka from Bagara. I want your guests to answer this question, please. During recruitment, why do you guys don't accept an ordinary person as guarantor, except a lawyer, pastor, or high-ranking police officer? A lot have been asked. Before we come back to the conversation, I mean, you've heard all of the things that the people have said. Maybe you want to respond to one or two of them, then we'll open the conversation. But again, the issue of touts, or let me put it this way, on some unscrupulous element being alleged to be working for the police. I've seen one or two occasions where, officers will be at one corner and some boys are collecting, and it's been reported that the officers are getting feedbacks and all of that. These are issues that constantly affect the relationship between the police and the civilians or the citizens. Maybe you want to respond to some of the issues that have been raised on the calls and the messages.
Okay, thank you very much. I've been able to jot down at least 11.
You've done well.
11 questions. Okay, so the first one I was able to put down, somebody talked about Tolu police posts, that they are always going out there to raid youth, and that we should do something about it. Raiding is part of our job, but where it's totally unacceptable is to get some people arrested and want to force crime on them. Want to say by force you are a criminal, or even when it is clear that this person is just going home, there's nothing, he has been able to identify himself, he's okay, he's gainfully employed, you still say, bring money before you leave. That is wrong. That's extortion. But most times when we go out for this raiding, you might not know, like a caller or somebody sends a message and says, please don't mention my name. We also receive invitation from members of the communities, members, landlords, residents, sometimes traditional rulers, religious leaders. They will call to say, please, we have bad boys in our area. Just like somebody that called from Ikorodu said, like, we have bad boys in our area. So sometimes when we don't even move around the communities, people say, we don't feel safe. We haven't seen police. Please come and patrol and arrest bad boys. I'm just saying that it's not like the police does it for fun or basically for extortion. It is also a measure to counter crime in the society. But nonetheless, we'll keep talking to our men. And please, if you have cases where people have extorted you, please let us know. Let us know. We've had some remarkable cases where people come out to say, yes, this person extorted me. Like the one that was dismissed last week for collecting 98,000 naira. The victim was able to come out boldly to say, I can identify him. It is this man, and that's helped in the dismissal, the investigation. So we want people to always let us know. Somebody talked about educating our officers, that we should give them the proper orientation. Yeah, I would like to say that for every promotion you have, you must have gone for a promotion course and end it with a promotion exam. And these are avenues we use to educate them over and over again. I would say that some people are recalcitrant. We have
no matter how hard you try,
we have means for dealing with them, but we always do our best. And even NGOs always come on board to say, we are Ford Foundation, we are British Council, and we are Clean Foundation. We would like to train your guys on human rights and all of that. So we oblige them. They come, we nominate officers, and we do these things over and over again. Somebody said that somewhere around Abiola Gardens that they called police and they said, no, Oga, now here they post us. And they actually turned down a call for help. That is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Please, I'm going to call after this program. I'm going to bring it to the notice of the DPO covering that area. But please, in case such happens, please don't hesitate to reach out to either the DPO or the area commander or even the PRO to let them know that the particular set of policemen there right now refused to attend to a distress call. We need to stop that. It's totally unacceptable. I don't know if apologies would be proper here, but that's totally unacceptable. Somebody talked about mobilization before arrest. That's why should I mobilize officers before they go for arrest? That too is not in our books. And officers do this because people actually encourage them. I've seen people that stood their ground and say, I'm not giving you any money. That they have said, the IG have said we should not pay. And later, the policeman will just follow them and say, carry your wallet, they go, Yamo, they go. So if more and more people, there is strength in unity. If more and more people stand their ground, this would be a thing of the past. And for those that do it, please let us know. I can't remember the number of calls I've received today where people say, oh, I'm here, I want to see the DPO. And they said, I cannot see the DPO. And I always say, give them the phone. And I ask the police officer, I'll tell them, put it on speaker so that everybody would hear. Why did you do this? Why did you ask for this? Usually they say, no, I don't talk like that too. In the lie, okay, fine. Whether in the lie or
just do the thing.
Just do the right thing. And that puts them on their toes. Next time they don't do that again. When somebody talk about the Jewish Shaga, that police officers there are working with tout. That is also very unprofessional. So what I would like you to do for me is after this program, that particular call where somebody complained about the Jewish Shaga, if you can just cut it out for me, and send it to me on WhatsApp. I want to forward to the DPO to let the DPO know that this is what Lagosians are saying, and to expect a feedback and also follow up to see that such does not happen. It's actually not new. I've heard complaints like that, but we need to take it up, and I appreciate this person for bringing it up. Now, somebody talked about drugs, that even some soldiers even come to buy the drugs, and police officers come there to collect levies. Yes, I've noted the area. He said, okay, yes. This is not an empty promise. I'm also going to take it up. I don't take it up per se, but I'm also going to inform the DPO. And we have a WhatsApp group. All the spokesperson for all uniformed agencies, police, army, NDLEA, road safety. We have a WhatsApp group. So after this, it's just to call my counterparts in the NDLEA. Bros, they say that they sell drugs openly from one side, though. I'm not saying we're abdicating responsibility, but I'm saying that while I look into it with the DPO,
there's an agency that can work faster on that.
Yes, that has the pure mandate to handle that. I'll also call them in, the more the merrier, so that we can tackle this issue. Somebody talked about police arresting Okada riders after it's 9 p.m. As long as it's a prohibited route, they're not supposed to be there. Maybe before 9 or after 9. So we'll continue to enforce the laws. We are law enforcement officers. Somebody talked about Agberos beating up somebody in the presence of police officers, like they are working in cahoot. That's, like I said, for the one of Iju Shaga. I'm also sending that to the DPO to see that is brought to a stop. Somebody talked about extortion in broad daylight, that there's a police officer somewhere not in uniform.
Now let me back this text with what you're about to respond to. This one says there's one woman police officer called Alaja and her boys, which they are not police officers, at Elere police station. She's always at Okekuto and Agbotukuyo area arresting Okada and extorting people.
Well, arresting Okada, if it's a prohibited route, fine. Extortion, no. So that's why we have programs like this, to get direct feedback from the people and to work on those feedback. So Elere, you said, okay, fine. That's also noted. I'm sure people can't see us, but you can confirm that I've been jotting this.
Definitely. People are watching actually. So we have loads of messages also on our social media platform. But I want to ask you quickly. There's something that I observe, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians have observed the same thing: the issue of parading suspects. And I've always felt the laws are quite different. You're innocent until the court pronounces you guilty. But in this case, we see where, suspects are, openly paraded before even being arraigned in court. What happens in this case where the court eventually, vindicates this person and this person is not?
In Lagos State Police Command, we show the social faces. In fact, the press statement I issued this afternoon, where we arrested 3 members of a one-chance syndicate with this parade of suspects. We do not allow them to interview these suspects. We do not allow them to even see their faces. They are always backing the journalists. So we strike a balance. The law says you shouldn't show somebody, parade them. So we just show you as proof that we arrested people, but we do not show their faces, so that by the time they are exonerated, there is nobody is coming up with their faces all over social media or newspapers to say, oh, but we were once arrested. The last question, I said I jotted down 11. I've answered 10. The 11th one, somebody said, why must it be lawyers that will be guarantors when you want to join the police? Well, we need to play it right, and most importantly, we do not draw up these requirements. We do not draw. It's the Police Service Commission, which has commissioners from all 6 geopolitical zones of the country, mostly retired judges or retired officers or whoever is nominated from that zone. So these civilians are the ones in charge. And when I'm saying civilians, permits me to use we and you now. I don't like using we and you. We should be one. But in this particular instance, permit me to say you out there, the civilians out there, Nigerians are the ones that draw up these requirements under the Police Service Commission, which we implement. So if you do not like it, you could contact the commissioner that is closest to you in the Police Service Commission to suggest that there should be a change. And if there's a change, whatever we are given, we would surely implement it.
Okay, now a lot of commendations came through in respect to the promptness of the responses that people get, calls and all of that. And I know on your pinned tweets, there are a lot of numbers there where people can reach out. But for those people that are not social media savvy, maybe you want to give us some numbers that which people can reach out, and maybe, the control center number, for instance. I'm sure a lot of people would love to have those numbers.
Yes, I'm going to give out those numbers. But even for those that are not social media savvy, at least many people use WhatsApp. So I'm going to say that first and foremost, I'll give out my phone number too. First and foremost, if you save my number, then open WhatsApp like you want to chat with me, go to my name, and the moment you open a chat with me, at the top of the chat you would see my name or whatever name you used to save the number, and beside my name, just to the right, especially if you are using an Android phone, to the right you will see a symbol like a house. It's actually a symbol for catalog. So touch that symbol and you will see a catalog that will open. That is how I programmed my own WhatsApp. A catalog will open and you will see the phone numbers of all DPOs in Lagos State and all area commanders. So that I update it regularly. I just updated it less than a week ago. So for me, let me start with myself. My phone number is 070 626 06717. Again, 070-626-06717. Now, I might not be there always to pick your calls. I've been in the studio for like an hour now, so I've not been able to pick any call. So I know somebody that has been trying to call me for the past 10 minutes now will say, oh, the guy know the pick call. It's because I'm at the studio like this. And I go to studios often. I'm with the Commissioner of Police. So I wouldn't encourage you to call this number in times of emergency. But for emergencies, true emergencies, we have a control room that can dispatch the nearest patrol van to you, and the phone number for our control room is 08063299264. Once again, 08063299264. And for our complaint lines, we also have complaint lines. These two are not emergencies. They're not for emergencies. We have our complaint lines. 0901-051-2350. Once again, 0901-051-2350. And the second one is 0901-051-2348. Once again, 0901-051-2348. And thirdly, 090-9000-3792. Once again, 090-9000-3792. And do not forget that 767 works in Lagos State and 112 equally works.
Okay, thank you very much. I just checked the time now and I see that we've almost done 1 hour. So quick. In passing, we've talked about the relationship with the police and the people. We've talked about educating officers. We've talked about, and you've noted quite a lot of things that I'm sure you work on. Is there any parting thing you want to talk to the people about? Especially the issue of securing Lagos. It's a big deal for a lot of us, especially those of us that does a lot of night working because of the nature of jobs that we do. You want to say in a minute or two, talk to the people as we call it a day on the show?
Yeah, I would just advise people to stay safe. Even for me, I'm a police officer. I can easily reach anybody within the police. I still watch my steps. I don't walk anyhow. So I would encourage people to be mindful. Safety starts with you. But of course, there are times you can't help it. You're caught in traffic. You're getting home around 11 p.m. In the unfortunate event that you find yourself in a difficult situation, please do not resist. Your life comes first. Just a few days back, somebody was trying to wrestle an iPhone from some robbers, and he was shot and he died. So do not resist and try to stay safe. Have speed dials on your phones. Almost all phones are smartphones today. If you don't know how to set up speed dial on your phone, just Google it. How do I set up speed dial on blah 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 phone? And you will say it. Please set up speed dials. Have emergency messages that you can just push one button.
Call me back.
For some phones, the side button, press it in quick succession 5 times, and it sends your location and a distress message. So let's take advantage of all of these things. And wherever you are going, please always let somebody know. Don't just go out solo. Let somebody know.
Thank you very much, SP Benjamin Hundeyin, for joining us in the Situation Room today. It's been a very engaging last 55 minutes or thereabouts. I want to appreciate you once again for always finding time to honor the invitation to speak to Lagosian in respect to how we can stay safe, stay secured, and keep everything going. Well, that's about the size of the package on the show today. I've been speaking with the Lagos State Public Relations Officer, Lagos State Police Command Public Relation Officer, yes, SP Benjamin Hundeyin, and we've talked about a lot of things. Well, you can also still get this program in case you missed it. It's going to be available on every of our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube. My name is Opeyemi Akinyode. It's my pleasure having you join us on the show today. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's the midweek edition of the program. God sparing our lives, will be back. But before then, keep your dial locked on Mainland 98.3 FM. We are the sound of Lagos.